Hello everyone, welcome back to Anton's class. Today's episode you don't want to miss because it's a fun exploration of the 10, not 1, not 2, not 5, 10 awesome reasons why I love Rwanda. If you saw the last video, 1 second guys, I'll grab my handy dandy notebook. Ting ting. Shout out to my niece, my weeb niece, Misa. She gave me this sticker. Do you guys love anime? I love anime. Anyways, some anime, not all of it. All right. Anyways, that's not what we're here for. Today we're here to talk about 10 reasons why I love Rwanda. Okay. If you saw my last video, you know that I left Rwanda, and I kind of gave you some reasons why I left Rwanda. So this video is to really balance that out and to give you 10 awesome reasons why I personally love Rwanda. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Number 10 is, I'm going to start at 10 and work our way to number 1. So the 10th reason why I love Rwanda is because of the progress they've made as a country. Rwanda, as you guys, I'm sure you've heard, had a genocide against the Tutsi back in the 90s. All right, it was a very horrific situation in human history. And the people of Rwanda have really come a long way since then. And they've made so much progress. All right, so that's why I wanted to start this countdown with that. They've progressed in so many ways in education, safety, unity. All right, so I really would like to commend Rwanda and their people and the current leader, which is Paul Kagame, because they've really done a lot to progress the country. It's a very beautiful country and it's very rapidly developing. They even call it the Singapore of Africa. I personally like to call it the Japan of Africa. It sort of reminds me of Japanese culture in some ways. So anyways, that's number 10. Number 9 is unity as a people. This kind of plays into the previous one. So the people of Rwanda are very unified now. Again, after the genocide that happened in the 90s, the people have come a super long way, and now the people are unified, and that is a very beautiful thing. The people don't really distinguish themselves between the ethnic groups like before. Of course, they know their history, but now everyone in Rwanda is Rwandese. Everyone is the same. They are unity. They are family, and that's a very beautiful thing to behold. You can see it, and I really witnessed it while I was living in Rwanda. They are totally unified. They're unified in language, culture. It's a very beautiful thing. So I definitely want to commend Rwanda in their unity, okay? Especially after what happened in the past. So it's a really remarkable thing. Number 8 is affordable transport, okay? This is something a little more tangible. When you go to Rwanda, there are various forms of transportation. You can use the bus. I never tried the busing system. I heard it's very efficient and very affordable. So I do recommend using the bus. If I should return to Rwanda, I will certainly be using the bus, okay? I hear it's safe, efficient, and cost effective, okay? I personally use the motorbike. The motorbikes are very affordable. I would go, and of course I'm gonna have my little wonderful map here for you guys. I would go from our part of town, which was Gisozi, shout out to Gisozi, and we would go all the way to Kigali Heights, and it cost about 1,000 Rwanda francs, which is about $1 US. So that's very affordable, you guys. We did use taxis a lot, we used an app. I'm not even gonna mention it because it was quite costly, okay? It was sort of an emergency sort of thing, and those really racked up the bill, all right? Maybe if you're coming from New York City or Chicago, it won't be a lot, but me coming from Phoenix, where you don't really have to use a taxi service, it was quite expensive. But use the motorbikes, it's wonderful. So that is my number 8. That's my 8th reason why I love Rwanda. Number 7 is the blackness. Black is beautiful. And as an African American, I did not grow up in a country where you saw lots of positive portrayals of black people. So being in Rwanda and seeing beautiful black people everywhere, of course the actual people there, but I'm talking in the advertisements, okay? On billboards, you would see beautiful black people. On advertisements, on commercials, when you went online to websites, it would show stock images of black people. It would show black people everywhere on packaging. that's something that really sticks with me, and something that I don't think will ever get old is someone who grew up as a minority in a country. So it might sound like something small or trivial, but for me, it was very impactful and very beautiful. And it was wonderful to see people who looked like me plastered all over the place. Okay. And Rwanda does a very good job of showing a sense of dignity in who they are as Black African people. And I love it. Number 6, affordable food. Now, if you're coming from the West, the food is very affordable. Okay, of course you can rack up an expensive bill if you go to a very expensive restaurant. But in general, the food is very affordable, okay? I'm talking at the market, the local markets. If you're buying produce, mushrooms, carrots, peas, fruits, it's very affordable. I didn't buy meat too often, so I can't really say how expensive the meat is, but it's probably kind of similar to the United States prices. But the produce is definitely a lot cheaper. Staples, rice, beans, potatoes, much cheaper. Even if you eat out, okay? When I was in Rwanda, I ate out a lot, okay? And it was definitely more affordable than in the United States, all right? So if you're going to Rwanda to visit or to live, you get to save money on the cost of food. So that is my 6th reason why I love Rwanda. Number 5, we're getting into the top 5. Ease of doing business. Now, I was planning to live in Rwanda and I was going to start a business, okay? And starting a business in Rwanda is a pretty straightforward process. It's pretty painless, easy, and affordable as well, okay? You know, starting a business in a lot of countries can be challenging, can be a pain. Ease of doing business in Rwanda is very fantastic. It's affordable. It's easy. It's a straightforward process. I heard you can get it done in within a few hours. Okay. It doesn't take days or weeks. It takes a few hours. So that's fantastic. Rwanda's doing a very awesome job at preparing the country for even greater advancement and development. And one way in which they're doing that is, of course, making the ease of doing business a lot easier. Okay. So I definitely think if you're planning to repatriate to an African country, put Rwanda on your list of potential countries, because the ease of doing business, if you're wanting to start a business, is fantastic. All right, so shout out to Rwanda for that one. Number 4 is the beautiful people, okay? Rwanda is full of beautiful people. Rwandese people are very beautiful, okay? Especially if you're attracted or really love to see deeply melanated human beings. I love to see darker skinned people, the beautiful mocha and chocolate hues. Rwandese people are incredibly beautiful. Okay, so if you're single, then you won't have a problem seeing some very incredibly beautiful human beings there. So they're very slender, they're healthy. I think that's partly because of their exercise. They walk a lot up these hills. Rwanda is full of hills. And yeah, the people are very beautiful. Every day you will see incredibly beautiful human beings in Rwanda, all right? Number 3 is beautiful scenery. Okay, this is very important to me. I love beautiful scenery. I love greenery. I love foliage. The mountains, everywhere in Rwanda, there's a view. Okay, so you will see incredible vistas of lush hills covered in foliage. When you're driving through Kigali, they really manicure the lawns, and the intersections and the roundabouts are full of flowers overflowing in colors, greens, various hues, the trees, the shrubs. It is so beautiful. All right. It's really a heavenly city. The beauty is immense. Okay. And the way they manicure the lawns and the foliage is immaculate. All right. So it is incredibly beautiful. I will never forget Rwanda, and I will never forget Kigali. Kigali is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. Okay. It's very paradisal, okay, the city. So that's number 3, beautiful scenery. Number 2 is cleanliness, okay? Rwanda is one of the cleanest countries in the world, and Kigali is one of the cleanest cities in the world, and in Africa, of course. I think African countries can learn a lot. Other African countries can learn a lot from Rwanda. Other countries around the world even, okay? Rwanda has done a lot. Remember, I was speaking about progress. They've made a lot of progress, and now it's one of the cleanest places in the world. When you're driving the streets of Kigali, you don't see litter. It's so clean. They take that cleanliness to an extra level. That's why I say it's similar to Japan in that way, because Japan is a very clean place. I haven't been there, but I know that. Kigali, Rwanda is a very clean city, okay? I was there, living there for a while, and it's so beautifully clean. I love that, and it's amazing, okay? So if that's something you're going to enjoy, then definitely consider Kigali, definitely consider Rwanda. All right, now, number one, the first and most important reason that I think Rwanda is such an incredible country to live in, to visit, is because of the safety. Rwanda is one of the safest countries in the world, okay? Kigali is one of the safest countries in the world. It's one of the safest countries, of course, in Africa, Rwanda, and Kigali is one of the safest cities in Africa and in the world. That's a very remarkable thing. So they've really come a long way. I've seen people walking the streets at various times of night, except for the lockdown, of course, but it's just a very safe place. Even the people that I spoke to, our real estate agent was telling us how absolutely safe it is, that it's so safe. Sometimes people, if you lose a phone or if you lose something, you will get it returned, okay? That's how safe Rwanda is. It's a very safe country. I actually went to Kigali Heights with my business partner, and we saw money on the wall left there. Other people had walked by. I'm sure they saw it. No one touched it. We even sat there, and of course we didn't touch it. Rwanda's a very safe place, okay? Now, of course, be diligent anywhere in the world and have common sense, but just know if you're considering repatriating to Africa, Rwanda is a very fantastic place because it is very safe. And I wanted to include as a little extra nugget under the safety, number one, is lack of corruption, all right? Rwanda does not play when it comes to corruption. So I wanted to include that under safety. Some other countries, particularly, anywhere in the world really, there is an issue with corruption, okay? And I know a lot of people repatriating to Africa are concerned with that. Just know that in Rwanda, they don't play that. Rwanda is very safe and they don't play with corruption. So there's very little corruption when you're going there. If you're going to rent, you don't have to worry so much. Of course, be diligent and be aware that you're gonna be swindled into paying the wrong person, which I've heard happens occasionally in other African countries, right? You don't have to be worried about doing business in Rwanda because the corruption is so low that it's a very safe place to live and a very safe place to do business. So that's my top 10, guys. I know this is a sort of short video, but I just wanted to tell you all the reasons that I love Rwanda, and I do love Rwanda. Like I said in the last video, I talked about why I left Rwanda. If you haven't seen that one, go ahead and go check it out. But I really wanted to buttress that and really wanted to give a balanced perspective because Rwanda is a fantastic country in Africa and in the world. And I really think people should go visit Rwanda. And if you're considering moving to Africa, Rwanda should be on your list, in my opinion. Again, this is all my opinion. Someone else might go to Rwanda and not see any of these things and not list them in their top 10. But for me, this is based on my experience and my opinion. All right. So once again, thank you for tuning in to Anton's class. If you haven't already, go check out my Instagram, Antons_class, and do go check out antonsclass.com for some interesting, intriguing wellness lessons. So let's journey together, you guys, and let's get well together. Bye.